Parasite control is a challenge faced by all farmers. Traditional treatments like wormers are becoming less effective due to resistance, leading to farmers looking for more sustainable measures. That's where the EU-funded SPARC programme comes in. This works with farmers, vets, farm advisors and researchers to develop new strategies. Today we're going to speak to Bruce Thompson, our SPARC Farmer Ambassador. Hi Bruce, could you just give us a background on yourself and the farm here?
Hi, my name is Bruce Thompson. On our farm we're milking 280 cows. It's a grass-based production system, which means we have an emphasis on producing milk from grass. Our cows are grazing outside from about early to mid-February until about mid-November every year, and are housed then for the winter time and dried off milk production. Our young stock then, we rear all our heifers on the farm up until they're cows, and surplus beef animals then are sold off the farm as young stock.
So you're our SPARC Ambassador Farmer for Ireland. Can I just ask you what drew you to the programme?
So our historic parasite management was based around the use of anthelmintics. However, we saw that this wasn't sustainable with anthelmintic resistance and environmental impacts and changes in legislation. We knew that we had to look at different options. So with the SPARC project, we had access to researchers, parasitologists, farmers and vets from across Europe, and I was able to knock heads with them and come up with novel ideas that could be implemented on our farm.
So since joining the programme, what have you started to implement on your farm?
So we're looking at different grazing strategies and looking at vaccines then and looking at weight performance in young stock in terms of using a more of a targeted approach to our worming strategy.
Have you seen any noticeable improvements on your farm?
Yeah, our young stock are getting up to their weight targets much better. We're monitoring them much more closely. Our use of anthelmintics has dramatically reduced, and the different approach has also contributed to our increase in milk production. No, they weren't hard to implement. From the offset, they sounded a bit onerous, but when we actually went to implement them, we found that it was easier to test than to treat.
So looking towards the rest of the programme and maybe the following year or so, is there any new changes and tools you'd like to implement?
Well, we're going to stick with our new grazing strategy with young stock. We're also going to test the cows for blood testing for Neospora. This year we are vaccinating the cows for Cryptosporidium, so in conjunction with good cholesterol management, that this could help reduce the pressure on young stock. And we've used the lungworm vaccine in the past, Huskvac, and we are hoping to use that again in the coming spring.
A great aspect of the SPARC programme is farmers both at home and abroad can come together and share ideas about parasite control. Bruce, have you got any advice for farmers who are looking to improve their parasite control management?
Yeah, I think farmers should consider where the parasites are on the farms, with the majority of them being out on pasture and not in the animals. So this needs to be taken into consideration when you're looking at vulnerable livestock and high levels of contamination. Also, we need to have a look at our wormer usage. Wormers are a miracle cure and need to be treated in that regard, like antibiotics. So we need to use them as little as possible, but as much as necessary.